Greetings everyone, and I hope the collecting gods are smiling on you wherever you are. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's something a little bit special. We're going to be taking a deep dive into Siberian Custom Studio's 1/6 scale take on Dae-su Oh, as played by Choi Min-sik in Park Chan-wook's seminal 2003 masterpiece that is Oldboy. And if I'm butchering those names, I apologise from the outset here. My Korean is not what it should be. The review will take the usual format, the usual well-trodden path. We will have a quick look at this box, and you're probably asking yourselves, why the hell are we staring at a plain black box? But there's a good reason for that, which we'll get to. Then, as always, it'll be down off the table for a look at all the accessories. Then it will be out with Oldboy himself for a close-up look. Then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But before we get into it, as always, some shout-outs and background. Firstly, a huge thank you to all the channel subscribers for the support and feedback. It's been amazing, and if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button and bell notification icon. You'll be helping the channel reach a wider audience, and you'll be making an old collector very, very happy in his dotage. But background, so if you've never heard of Oldboy, and I mean the original here, not the seriously iffy Spike Lee remake, I recommend seeking it out immediately. It's a bona fide classic. It's the tale of a Korean businessman held captive for 15 years and then suddenly released to try and piece together his life and track down his captor. I won't give anything away here, no plot spoilers, but trust me, it's the tip of the iceberg on how deranged and brilliant this film actually is. Park Chan-wook's body of work goes back to the 1990s, the late 1990s, and it was his movies that first introduced me or into Korean movies and into Korean cinema, and started my love affair, which flourishes today with, I mean, there's some great titles out there if you're wanting to seek them out. There's Thirst, there's Lady Vengeance, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. There's a whole raft of great films out there of his, but personally, I think Oldboy is the pinnacle of his work. But yeah, that's enough of those ramblings. So, Siberian Custom Studios. I've got to hold my hands up here. I don't know a vast amount about the company. I believe they've been around for maybe 8 or 9 years. They specialise in one-off and custom limited run handmade 1/6 scale figures, and tend to cover characters not done by big mainstream companies. I'll put a link to the Facebook page in the description below, and I highly recommend you check it out. There are some mind-blowing pieces there that they've produced. Now, I didn't get this piece directly from Siberian Custom Studios, as this was originally released back in 2020, 2021, and was one of a limited run of 35 figures, I believe. I actually picked this piece up recently from another collector, so it's not new, but it is new to me. So, the box. Why the plain black box? Well, and correct me if I'm wrong here, if there are any experts on Siberian Customs out there, but I believe when they first started out, they actually sent their figures out in these plain black shoebox designed boxes, basically. It's not until recently that they've actually started producing art boxes to go with their figures. So I think it's in the past year or two that the art boxes sort of crept into their work. But yeah, initially all the figures went out in these plain black boxes, hence why we're looking at one. So yeah, we'll stop it from spinning. We're not going to have a look at it. It's very, very simple. As I mentioned, it's just simply a shoebox design, and if you take the shoebox cover off, you're greeted with a foam inlay. Underneath that foam inlay, you've got the figure itself, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, there you have the figure. So that's the box. So without further ado, let's do what we always do. Let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with Oldboy. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Oldboy figure from Siberian Custom Studio. We'll start with the hands as we always do. You know me and my hands. There's a pair, an open palm pair, already on the figure itself. You've got another 3 pairs here, so that's 4 pairs of hands in total. So there's a decent amount of hands to go at. So we'll pick a few at random. There's 2 fisted hands. There are several gripping hands. Well, say several, 4 gripping hands for the other items that we'll come to. But yeah, we'll grab one at random. We'll take a look at this fisted hand, get it into camera for a close-up look. The sculpt here is really, really nice. The paint applications are good. The skin tone and skin texture is really nice. We'll grab one of the gripping hands as well. So we can do a comparison. You've got bone structure in there. There's some veining. The fingernails themselves are nicely detailed. Paint application is good. There's creasing in the palms. There's only, I mean, straight away you probably notice the knuckles on this, on these hands. Now, this has been done deliberately, and I think it's a really, really nice touch from Siberian Custom. What they've done here is they've replicated the, how can I put this, the weathered knuckles, the bruised knuckles, the knuckles that have been after years and years of combat practice that Oldboy does while locked up in his cell against the wall. His knuckles have become calloused and hard, and they've captured that really, really well here with the paint applications on the knuckle areas, and they look slightly swollen and calloused and toughened up, and really, really well done. Also, you'll notice on the back of the hands as well, you've got these 5-bar gate symbols. These are to replicate the years that he's actually been locked up, as Oldboy tattoos the back of his left hand for every year that he's been incarcerated. But yeah, let's do the strength test on these, and there's some give in these. Yeah, there's some flexibility. This is pretty much my perfect sort of tensile strength, shall we say, with hands. It's a soft to medium, so it's great for gripping accessories, so you won't have any problems there with probably no need for a hairdryer or hot water. The only, I wouldn't say it's a gripe really, but the only thing that I'm not sure whether the camera's picking this up, it's probably more prominent on the fisted hands. If I can get this, get the light to catch these, it looks like at some point there's been maybe a clear coating applied to certain areas of these hands. Now I'm not sure whether this was directly out of Siberian Custom Studio itself, or whether somebody's done this post receiving the figure, but it's not on all of the hands. It's probably more prominent there on this one actually. If I can get this close enough in, you can probably see that there's almost like a clear shine, almost like a varnish on half of the hand. It's more predominant over the right hand side of this hand, not so much on the left. Now I don't know whether that's intentional, whether that's been done after. I would say that's my only gripe. It's perhaps a little too shiny for my taste there. It could be a little bit more matte to replicate the skin texture a little bit better. So yeah, but apart from that, I would have to say these hands are very, very good. There's good flexibility. The sculpt's great. The paint applications are on point. The screen accuracy is there as well. So yeah, that's the hands. So we'll pop those to one side. What else do you get? Certificate of authenticity. Really, really nice to see. Now, this, I believe that Siberian Custom Studios have actually updated this. It's just a card. Well, yes, quite a thin card, hence why it's in this plastic bag. But I believe they're actually doing sort of credit card plastic style certificates of authenticity now. But yeah. Relatively straightforward. It says 1/6 scale figure Oldboy on the front there. It says best regards Alex. Now I think that is Philippou or Filipov, so I'm assuming he is the man behind Siberian Custom. You've got the number on there. It's number 19. As I said at the top there, I believe it says 19 of a run of 35. You've got Alex's signature and the date that this was produced, 30th of 6th, 2021. So yeah, nice little certificate of authenticity there. So I'll put that to one side. And finally, with the accessories, you get this box. Now, those who know the film will recognize this box instantly. It's the box that Oldboy finds himself stuffed into and then deposited on a rooftop when he's finally released after the 15 years. Siberian haven't done this in full scale as it was in the film. It's not full 1/6 scale. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to get a 1/6 scale figure inside here, but it's really nice to see that they've replicated the box, and it's done so to actually hold the rest of the accessories. The box itself, I think, is made out of what feels like wood and perhaps a resin material. I'm not 100% certain. It might be all wood with a coating of this sort of matte red paint and black paint, but the screen accuracy is there. Unfortunately, the years haven't been kind to this box, and it came to me minus a couple of the corners, this one here and this one here. These are metal, these corners, as are the hinges at the front. But yeah, the quite delicate, and it's not held up particularly brilliantly, but given its age. But a little bit of work on this will get it back to its former glory, and I can quite easily replace these corners. So yeah, once you open up the box, though, you're greeted with the rest of the accessories. What you've got inside is this foam inlay on both sides. And I just think it's great that that Siberian did this. I thought it was a brilliant way to present the rest of the accessories was inside this box. So what do you get? Well, we'll start with this box. Now this foam inlay is exceptionally tight, so I've got to be super careful taking these accessories out of here because I don't want to damage them. What you've got is this thick card gift box. Now, those who've seen the film will probably recognise this box. It's the gift box that contains the evidence, shall we say. I'm not going to go any further than that. But yeah, the screen accuracy looks absolutely on point to me. It's simply a hard card, but I think it's card actually. Actually, it could yeah, I think it is. I think it's perhaps a card that's been coated or reinforced. But yeah, it's got this beautiful purple colour with a purple bow on and this sort of jagged triangular design on it. Once again, absolutely screen accurate. I won't, as I say, won't give away its relevance in the movie if you haven't seen it, but you'll get it if you know. So yeah, that's the gift box. We'll put that to one side. What else do you get in here? You also get, now we'll lift this out carefully as well because I do like this, and this is I think this is a wonderful piece of work here by Siberian. What they've done here is they've replicated the photo album from the movie itself. Now, those who haven't seen the film probably won't mean an awful lot to them, but it is actually very, very important to the plot of the movie. And what it feels like it's a sort of reinforced card that's been covered here. It's got that purple hue to it to match the box. Where it's come from. The pages themselves are a sort of a thick black card, and what Siberian have done here, I mean, you probably noticed actually before we get into the photos themselves that unfortunately the years haven't been kind to the binding on the inside of this book, and there is a little bit of splitting going on in there, but it's nothing that can't be salvaged, and I'll be giving that a little bit of TLC after this review. But yeah, each page has a photograph on it, and these are actually the photographs from the film itself. Don't know how Siberian have done this, must have digitally lifted them from the film and then reproduced them and pasted them into this really, really nice book. And what you're looking at here are photographs without, as I say, without plot spoiling it, very, very relevant to the plot of the film, and it's Oldboy's daughter growing up, shall we say. But yeah, all of the photographs, and it looks to me, and I've revisited the film itself yesterday, and judging by what I can see here, they've captured every single photograph that appears in the movie. So yeah, absolutely props to Siberian Custom Studio there for that accessory. Really, really nice, loving that. So we'll put that to one side. The glasses now, once again, those who've seen the movie will know the relevance of these glasses, and I'm going to be very, very careful with these, super careful. Now, these are the glasses he wears for a large portion of the movie. Now, you might look at those and think they're ladies' glasses, and they are ladies' glasses because he borrows them, shall we say, from a lady in an elevator at the beginning of the movie. But yeah, these are made out of metal. These frames are metal. Not sure what those lenses are, whether those are glass. They look like they could be actually, or whether they're just painted metal as well. But it's really nice to see that these glasses have been done in metal rather than plastic. They are quite sturdy for something this small and this intricate. Had these been done in plastic, like we see an awful lot of 1/6 scale glasses from sort of the mainstream companies, these would be super delicate and prone to breaking. But I mean, that's not to say that these wouldn't break if they were manhandled, but they're just that much sturdier. So, and yeah, the screen accuracy is on point with that gold color and the black lens. So yeah, that's the glasses. We'll pop those to one side, and finally you get Oldboy's weapon of choice. It's the hammer. Now, this, I believe, most certainly that the head of the hammer here, the claw hammer, is metal. It's cold to the touch. You can feel the weight of it. But yeah, really nicely done. The body feels like it might be wood. I'm pretty certain it is. And you've got that black handle area, yellow body with a black stripe down it. And yeah, once again, completely screen accurate and on point and just really nicely done. So that's his hammer. So that's all the accessories that come with Oldboy. So without further ado, let's bring out the man himself, get him onto a stand, get him onto the turntable. There is no stand with this figure, so we'll be using a generic one. But yeah, let's bring him out and take a close-up look at him. Okay, so here he is. It's Choi Min-sik himself, aka Dae-su Oh, aka Oldboy, out of the box, onto the stand and onto the turntable. And first impressions, well, before we get to first impressions, just in case anybody is wondering where this stand came from, this is actually the stand that came with the Y Studios Leatherface. And trust me, it was about the only decent thing that came out of that box. But moving on swiftly, yeah, first impressions on this guy. First impressions are very, very good indeed. I have to say, the proportions look absolutely spot on. The outfit, that tailored suit and shirt, look absolutely nailed on. The head sculpt, which we will come to, looks on point as well. Yeah, first impressions are very, very good indeed, I have to say. But we'll do what we always do. We will stop him from spinning and we will take a close-up look at this guy, and we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. So yeah, let's get him into as close as we can without cutting the top of his head off. Yeah, let's get him off this stand and take a closer look. So starting at the bottom, the shoes. Now, these are all one piece of sculpted plastic. They're pegged directly into the legs themselves. There's no real laces there, no socks on this particular figure. Can't remember, to be honest with you, whether he wore socks or whether he even got to see whether he had socks on during the film. I don't think we did. But yeah, the shoes look pretty screen accurate. There's sort of a standard Oxford style shoe. There's some scuffing and weathering on the bottom of these shoes, which is nice to see. Moving up, now the outfit itself, they've gone for the iconic look. There's only 2 or 3 looks he sports during the entire film, and this is pretty much the one that he boasts for the majority of the film itself, and it's this black pinstripe, but with quite a subtle pinstripe in it, a grey pinstripe. And Siberian Custom Studios have caught this really, really well. The material itself is a cotton, a nice quality cotton. The cut looks right. The stitching is immaculate on the edges here, and at the risk of repeating myself, and regulars to the channel will have heard me say this more times than they care to remember, I still think to this day producing a 1/6 scale fitted suit is one of the hardest things to do in the 6 scale world, and to get it to look convincing, to get it to look right. You can have all the fancy metal die-cast superhero pieces in the world, but getting a suit to actually look authentic in 1/6 scale is incredibly hard, and I think Siberian Custom Studios have done a very, very good job here. As I say, the seams are really, really nicely tailored. That pinstripe is absolutely spot on. The fall is correct. You're moving up to the and it's a very simple outfit, as you can see. I mean, it's literally a 2-piece suit with a black silk shirt underneath. But yeah, the fall is right. It's a dust and fingerprint magnet, as you will find with all figures of this type with these kind of suits on. So yeah, you'll be cleaning it a lot, but that doesn't bother me. Little hairs get on there, bits of dust everywhere. But yeah, the suit itself, really, really nicely cut and tailored. You've got pockets in here. I don't think these are functioning pockets. No, they're not. The fall and cut of the sleeves is just right, with it falling ever so slightly over the cuff area. Doesn't show any shirt here, which is screen accurate. The suit itself, and I'll try and open this up so you can see here. The suit itself has got this lovely red silk lining. Well, I don't know whether it is actually silk. It feels possibly it's a polyester or a nylon, but it has a lovely silky smooth feel and that shiny quality, and that once again completely screen accurate. The shirt itself has a silky feel to it, but possibly is a brushed cotton. I'm not 100% certain, I'd have to check that out. But once again, the stitch work is really nice. You've got some black buttons on there. The stitch work around the pocket area is really nicely done. The collar itself on this shirt, straight out of the box, I thought that's riding a little high for my taste. For the screen accuracy, and I'm all about the screen accuracy, I think this collar needs futzing down a little bit. For those who know the film will probably know what I'm talking about here. If you open that collar up ever so slightly, to me that is more in keeping with the look from the movie. So I may have to do some work with this collar area just to open it out ever so slightly. Because you can see as I let that go there, it springs back, and that's not entirely accurate to me. For me, that's slightly more open look. But yeah, I'll be futzing that off camera before we do the showcase at the end. But yeah, shirt is really nicely tailored, as is the jacket. Let's take a look around the back. Yeah, it's the same story around the back. Obviously it is a dust magnet. The tailoring is absolutely on point. Stitch work is great there. And these are those open palm hands that we mentioned down in the accessory section. Now, these don't seem to have that same shine to them that we were talking about before. Not sure what's going on there. There is a little shine to them, but it's nowhere near as sort of predominant on these hands as it is on some of the others. But once again, you've got those tattoos on the back of the left hand there, signifying the years he was locked up. The body itself, and straight away when I took this out of the box, the body's got some weight to it. It feels solid. It feels of a good quality. I did check out which body that Siberian Customs had used on their Facebook page, and it now escapes me. I've completely forgotten what it was. But they have used a specific body which matches Choi Min-sik's body type. The body itself, the articulation is really good. You've got ratcheted elbow joints there. You have a butterfly joint at the shoulder. The legs themselves, yeah, you've got a double bend at the knee there, so you can get that leg right the way back. The feet swivel and pivot, as you would expect, being pegged directly into the legs. And the waist itself, there's a certain amount of movement there, not a huge amount, but yeah, there's a decent amount of movement in there, because there's no padding on this figure at all, so there's nothing really restricting the movement. So yeah, articulation very good. The body feels of a decent quality. Tailoring absolutely on point, bar some futzing that needs doing, I think, with this collar area. So yeah, let's move up to this head sculpt now. The most important thing probably is this head sculpt. Now I'm going to try and get him to stand so we look directly into the camera here, because I think there's quite a lot to talk about with this head sculpt. Let's just lift that head up. Now, just one head sculpt with this figure, and it's pegged directly into the neck, as you can see there. There's movement in there. It's super stiff, so yeah, but the movement is most certainly there. Now, the lightness. Now, to me, that lightness is very, very good indeed. We'll get to the hair, but the lightness, I think, is absolutely on point. The sculpt, the skin texturing, the paint applications for the beard and the moustache, the eyes are super glassy and the right colour, and I love how they've gone for that. It's almost a blank expression. because those who've seen the film will know that a lot of the time he walks around with this blank, emotionless expression, and when he does express emotion, it seems to be completely and utterly forced. It's like he's got no feelings left at all after his incarceration. But what I'll do is I'll actually bring some photographs in at this point, so we've got something to compare this to. Difficult to find photos of the actor in the film, but let's just bring him out. Moving back a little bit, see if he'll freestand. Just bear with me while we get him to stand on his own there. Managed to find a few photos. Now, that's probably not the best one there, because it's underlit, but that'll give you an idea of the accuracy maybe on the sculpt there. Obviously, he's got the glasses on there, so it's perhaps not the easiest of comparisons. That is a good one, I think. Even though he does have the glasses on, you get that an idea of that neutral expression. Yeah, but let's see if we can find one with the eyes. Yeah, that's probably a good comparison, that one. As you can see, although the hair needs futzing, and we'll talk about that in a second, that gives you an idea of the likeness here, and we are talking an exceptionally good likeness, a really, really good likeness. Another one there of him leaning forward, yeah, once again, one with the glasses on. We'll actually put the glasses on him before we cut to the showcase as well, so you can get an idea of that look as well. But yeah, so I suppose the only other thing really is the hair itself. Now, difficult to do this one. They've gone for a rooted hair, but it is I'll try and get it as close as I can into the camera here without knocking the camera over. We'll just move the camera ever so slightly back, and then I can drop him into this gap here between the table and the camera, so you can see this. Now, what Siberian Custom Studios have done here is that they've gone for, because of the hair type, they've used this exceptionally fine hair. The style is absolutely on point. It might look a little bit odd because this has come straight out of the box, so it's going to have pressure put on it. It's going to take a little bit of futzing to get it to fall just right. There are touches of grey in there, which is absolutely screen accurate, but they are very, very fine. I don't know if the camera's catching this, but there are little silver spots, almost grey spots, and the nature of this hair being quite fluffy and fine is that you can futz it. So I will be mucking around with this between now and the showcase to get it just right. Yeah, it's absolutely the right cut, the right length. It is super fine, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to work with, but I'm a patient man, so I'm happy to do that. So yeah, there you have it. Now, that head sculpt though, really from any angle, pretty much every angle there, they have nailed Choi Min-sik. Yeah, that's just Dae-su Oh all over, as far as I'm concerned. Phenomenal job there from Siberian Custom Studio. Absolutely on point, and I am loving that head sculpt. So let's pop him back onto the stand, rearrange this camera a little bit so we've got him all in shot. Bring him a little bit closer, get this camera a little bit closer as well, and maybe just stick those glasses on as well. This is a look I have yet to see since taking this figure out of the box itself. It's literally just arrived, so to speak. This is the first time I've seen it, so I'm really wanting to see this look, because to me this is absolutely an iconic look for the character. Now, getting these glasses on is not the easiest thing in the world, and I'm hoping this is going to do this on camera, simply because this hair is fine, but it's also thick simultaneously, if that makes sense. So getting these glasses to tuck underneath and around, there we go. I think we might have got it. I think, yeah, there we go. Has it done it? It has. It's knocked the hair out of whack a bit, but we're going to futz that anyway. And let's pop him back on to the stand and take a look at that. Now, to me, although they do need a little bit of mucking around with, this is probably clutching hammer, and this is the look I'm going to be going for in the display. As good as that head sculpt is, and it is a shame to cover those eyes up, I think glasses on really does capture that iconic look of the character. So there you have it. That is Dae-su Oh, courtesy of Siberian Custom Studio. I hope this review's been useful for you. Final thoughts. What are my final thoughts and a score on this? Difficult one, this. The only real thing for me that I would say is a downside, and I mentioned it before, is that super high gloss paint or super high gloss coating, shall I say, on some of the hands. Not sure whether that's done deliberately or not. That really is the only downside I've got to this. There is occasionally those angles, there's occasionally an angle that might look ever so slightly wrong on that head sculpt. And I think that that hair could it have been better? Probably not. No, I think under the circumstances, they've gone the right direction on there. So really, there's not an awful lot for me to find fault with here. The body is great. The head sculpt is nailed on. The proportions are right. The screen accuracy is there. The outfit is beautifully tailored. So really, I'm going to go a 9.5 on this. Yeah, I'm torn between a 9.5 and a 10. I think perhaps deducting points for shiny hands might be me being pedantic. Let's go with a 10. Yeah, well, chance by arm. On a bad day we'll call it a 9.5, on a good day we'll call it a 10. So there you have it. Yeah, that's Siberian Customs take on Dae-su Oh from Oldboy. What are your thoughts on this piece? Is it something you've got in your collection? Are Siberian Custom Studios something on your company on your radar? Have you got any of their pieces in your collection? Have you seen the film? Is it a film that appeals to you? Is anything at all? Yeah, any comments at all about the figure, about the movie, about the company? Please drop them in the comment section below. Nothing's off menu, and I'd be fascinated to hear what you've got to say. So that about pretty much wraps it up for this review. I hope it's been useful for you. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, let's start him spinning again, and we'll have a quick wrap up of what's coming in the not too distant future. In the 1/4 scale statue world, we have the Prime 1 N52 Batman. Looking forward to getting that. In the 1/6 scale world, we've got Toys Battalion, Legendary Merchant, aka Tom Hardy from Taboo. We've got the in-art Bruce Wayne to go with the Batman that we recently reviewed. We've got Exo-6's Krug and Savick from Star Trek. From Present Toys, we've got Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Ripley from Aliens, Kaneda from Akira, raft of Premiere Toys stuff, the Interstellar Double Pack, and a boatload of stuff from Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa and Mad Max Saga. We've got a shed load of NECA 1/10 scale stuff. We've got stuff from Caustic Plastic, like Chuck Norris, Toshiro Mifune. We've got Hot Toy stuff coming in, including Kidpool. As you can gather, there's a hell of a lot of stuff coming in for review and for showcase, and we've got a lot of new features coming up on the channel as well. But I'm not going to give too much away about those right now. Yeah, so if you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon so you're not missing anything that's coming up on the channel in the future. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching. From me, from Dae-su Oh, aka Oldboy, it's happy collecting, take care of yourselves, and it's over to the showcase.